Now I request and I invite Mr. Abu Musa Arif Billah to deliver his speech.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulihil karim. Amma ba'd. Today, at this juncture of understanding the civilization and realization of our present condition throughout the world, the juncture of envisages the real glory of medieval Muslim scientists, philosophers, scholars. Al-Biruni Foundation organizing such conferences, seminars to pay the debt of our previous scholars, scientists. The scholars and scientists, philosophers, those build the foundation of this modern civilization, we completely forgot them. This is a crime, I think. We may forget our personal deeds, our personal contribution, but we should not forget our heritage, our history, our glory. Hundreds of scientists, mathematicians, astrologers, astronomers, religious scholars, philosophers, poets, writers, historians, as well as good quality rulers, those role as a benefactor, patron of the development and scholarship. We forgot them. We are living in a modern age, and now it is post-modern age. We have already crossed the liberalism, now post-liberalism. All this attribution, all this color given by the West. Liberalism, modernism, postmodernism began in the history of the world during the medieval period. I can cite an example. Abul Qasim Firdausi, the national poet of Iran, who wrote his historic epic Shahnameh more than 1,000 years ago, before a millennium. And he is the national poet of Iran. What does it mean? After Firdausi, thousands of poets lived in Iran, contributed to the Persian literature. And why Firdausi is still national poet of Iran? Because Firdausi is a genius. Firdausi is a rahbar of all poets. It means not only Firdausi, not only the content of his historical book, it is due to both the content and the presentation and style and diction of his poetry. In regard to diction, style, presentation, Firdausi is still a hero. Not only literary rhymes or hemistics of couplet, but the flowering, the words one after another. And flowering the words, he has made a garland of Iranian history, incorporating all sorts of human skills, glorifying the history of the civilization of Iran. He begins his Shahnama with the beginning of the civilization, the Qumars, the first ruler. And he's saying Qumars is coming from a hill, wearing a tiger skin, and he came down to this earth and made his dynasty. And Ferdowsi exemplifying many types of heroic symbolism and traditions. In his Shahnama, we may observe the influence of Greek literature, especially the encounter of Hercules. That is, the story of Isfandiar Rustam is reflected there. And at the same time, he is flowering the Iranian history with the petals of the golden roses of his golden ink, of his mighty pen. And at the same time, he is showing the mighty warrior Rustam and kept him 300 years head of the Iranian army. And he also very nicely presented the story of love, the story of Tahmina and Rustam, how they become acquainted to each other, and how Tahmina expressed her love to Rustam, and how he got married, and how the child Sohrab born. And then the most attractive part of Rustam is, Ferdowsi is Sohrab and Rustam, the tragedy of Sohrab and Rustam. You know, the whole world, almost every language translated these stories of Sohrab and Rustam. If you see Ferdowsi's description of rivers, the flowing of the streams, if he describes how Rustam, when he was hungry, how he is catching wild bear and making kebab and eating, and how the meadow beside the river flowing the breeze there, and how the spring flowers are beautifully developed throughout the meadows. And nicely, when I read Ferdowsi, then I become obsessed of his stylistic diction and natural, heartfelt exemplification. Though I am just now saying something beyond my topic, but our conference is interdisciplinary, and there is a scope of saying something from literature, culture, history, science, philosophy. So that is why Ferdowsi is a hero of Iranian nation. So Ferdowsi's Shahnama, if a book written a millennium ago can be considered the writer of this book as a national poet, then the civilization you can think. The West is just 2 centuries. The history of West is 2-3 centuries, not more than that. And before that, the whole world dominated by Persia, Iran, Greek, Rome, this. But now, mistakenly, we know, we are taught by the scholars, our professors, and we are teaching the books that saying that every development belongs to West after post-Renaissance. And Renaissance means 17th century. This is actually wrong. So this conference, Abu Rayhan Biruni Foundation, is going to make a reimbursement to the scholars like Abu Rayhan Biruni, Abu Ali Sina, Al-Khawarizmi, Tusi, Ghazali, many of scholars. When I was in England for my PhD research at SOAS, University of London, I got position there. I was teaching occasionally King's College, School of Oriental and African Studies, SOAS, and FCO. FCO means Foreign and Commonwealth Office. That is, deals with the British ambassadors and embassy staffs. I taught them for 3 years. But I did not get peace in my heart. Every time I felt thirsty for doing something beyond those things. My thesis involved with Persian and Indian relations, Indo-Iranian relations, history, culture, everything. So, involving 6 literary knowledge and 4 manuscript in 4 languages. That's why I thought that if I stay in England, then I have to just limit my expertise, my teaching with some sort those need, like teaching languages, Persian, Hindi, Dari, and Bengali. I was teaching 4 languages there, but I thought that the knowledge I have gathered by my PhD research at SOAS, this is not cooperating, not matching with the things I am doing there. So every day I was in confusion. My family was just they are interested to stay there. I said, no, I am here with the scholarship of Dhaka University, so I can't betray with my nation, with my university. So I have to go back, and you have to go with me. So when I was coming back, then you know our country's situation, how our teachers, our colleagues, our students, our university is ruling. This is far beyond the tradition of West and the medieval period. We have developed something very short, very easy things, and students can, every day they can move around the university. If you come here, TSC, everywhere you see the flood of our students. As a national patriotic approach, as a human sense, we are very behind. So I thought if I go back, leaving this resourceful library, SOAS library, British library, and King's College, and other university I was involved. So I had a dream there, okay, I will go back, but I will continue my research, establishing a foundation. It was actually my dream. And when I come back 2010, then first 2011, I had an international seminar through Al-Biruni, Abu Rayhan Biruni Foundation. Professor Shamsher Ali, he was the keynote speaker. It was the beginning. And from that, now on, this is 4th international conference we are today observing, and 3 international seminars regarding Nazrul Ferdowsi, Nazrul Hafiz, Nazrul Umur Khayyam. I have tried my best to present as a literary text. And this foundation, it is a symbolically Al-Biruni Foundation, but as Al-Biruni himself wrote more than 142 books and he knows more than 16 languages, and most of his book written in Arabic. And what good he did, when he was in India, he learned Sanskrit, and Sanskrit was not easy to learn at that time, because Sanskrit was very preserved language for the state court people and for the Brahmins. But Al-Biruni, he exchanged his scholarship with the local Indian scholars, mathematicians, philosophers. When they learned that this guy has potential, then they interestingly taught him Sanskrit, so that he learned Sanskrit very quick, and he wrote the history, that is Tarikhul Hind. Every aspect of India he wrote in this book, in two collections, two volumes. And what he learned before coming India from Greek, Arab, and Persian, Roman, science, philosophy, medicine, he translated those in Sanskrit for the Indian scholars. And what he learned from here through Sanskrit, he translated it, he wrote it in Arabic for Middle East and other country people. And that's why we say Al-Biruni was a father of Indology, the founder of Indian studies. And through his book, the whole world then got the perfect, full picture of India. So this is a real contribution. So that's why I just symbolically made the name Al-Biruni Foundation. But as Al-Biruni was himself interdisciplinary, my foundation also interdisciplinary. And it was not easy for me to continue these conferences, this foundation. My teacher, Professor Kulsum Abul Bashar here, she always encouraged me. And here many of my friends, especially Mr. Waliul Maruf Matin, he was Secretary General, elected as Secretary General. And I have also crisis of finding people who work with me, because people here, they are busy with their something, they can earn something. But here is always I lose from my pocket. So the friends may be afraid of the situation. So they always, it is very difficult for me. So however, I am continuing this. And today, by these few words, the background of my foundation, myself, and background of the history of Iran through some few words about Ferdowsi and his contribution. And I am welcoming all the geniuses of Bangladesh, Iran, London, Malaysia, and other here also Allama Mashaikhi also here. He is a Vice Chancellor of Al-Mustafa University located at Bonani, DOHSS, Baridhara DOHSS. And our cultural counselor, Iranian cultural counselor, Sayyid Musa Husseini. And I also thanks gratefully, heartfeltly, the director of this institute, Professor Shishir Bhattacharya, who actually, he is not any member of my organization, but for organizing this, he actually helped me a lot. And he is here, and he also is here to, we are using his official room for our special guests. So I also thank him. And our guest from India, especially from Kolkata, Professor Mansoor, he was a vice chairman of Iran Society, Calcutta, and he was a UGC member of West Bengal, and he was professor of Persian, Maulana Azad College, and here also head of the Arabic department, Calcutta University, Professor Isharat Ali Mullah. Rightly I said. Yeah. Okay. So and all other who are here from different parts of life of Bangladesh, especially from Hamdard University. We have here Vice Chancellor Hamdard University and other 12 colleagues and 2 students. They also participating in the conference. And I am finishing my welcome. From Rajshahi, sorry. From Rajshahi, Professor Shamim Khan. He has been participating all of my programs. Even though I was unable sometimes to show him proper honor, but he is here and he is now retired. He had a good job at Rajshahi University. So and I can also utter the name of Musa Mohammad. He actually few months he also worked as my secretary unofficially. He worked with me, and also Joel Bhai. They are from East Dhaka. They actually exporting steel from outside Bangladesh, from different countries, and they also little help they also for this conference. So by these few words I am finishing my address and welcoming you all to this conference. Thank you.